Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and this is going to be the second video in my series that I'm making about everything that's happened with my mom. If you've missed the first one, which includes an explanation on why I'm doing this and all the details leading up to this point, I'll have it linked down below for you to check it out. I recommend watching that one before you watch this one because I'm going to do like a big story time and I'm literally just going to pick up right where I left off before. So in the last video I left off with my brother and I getting down to Cherokee at the visitor center and getting out of the car and calling my cousin and asking where they were and then running and hugging my sister. After our hug, she took us inside and we got to meet our, I didn't know it at the time, but she was our family liaison, and then we got to meet I think one or two other park rangers. So I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting actually. So at this point, like, Elliot and I are going in blind. We have no idea what's happened. We have no idea what's going on. Emily hasn't been able to really give us any details. And so, we sit down and we get kind of like the brief overview of, there's like, I think that second day they had like 7 or 8 teams of 2 walking the trails and searching. And I have all these big maps that we went over and analyzed, and we talked about what happens when someone goes missing and the process for it, and like the way you organize a search and the strategy behind it and the statistics involved and all sorts of stuff. So all emotions aside, it was really cool watching how everything was organized and laid out and planned. Like, it was really awesome. I felt like I was like on the inside and got to see what was going on and how it was all going to work out and, everything like that. It was awesome. Feelings not aside, it was horrible because we're sitting there. I have no idea what's going on. My mom's lost in the woods and my dad's across the country still, and I'm, standing in this room with a bunch of strangers and I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, so that first, those first few hours was a lot of like sitting and waiting. And so of course I'm thinking, I'll be back in school by Friday. I'm sitting there doing homework, trying to get stuff done, and it was what it was. But as time goes on, Flory was our family liaison. She kept offering us, if we wanted to go get something to eat, or if we wanted this or that, just trying to make us comfortable because there's nothing you can really do in a situation like that. So a few hours go by and someone from the search team, I don't remember who it was at this point. Honestly, the whole week we were there seems like one drawn out day, like one drawn out long nightmare that's just, you just take, you try to take little naps at night. You can't really sleep, but you try to. And, you just wake up and it's the same exact day over and over and over again. So I don't remember this first day very well. I don't know who interviewed us, but we all had to be interviewed. Emily was interviewed before we got there, and then they interviewed Elliot and I with her to like coordinate our answers to see, how my mom would think as a person, what she was like, what her decision making was, all those questions you have to ask about like financial situations and were you in trouble with the law and, all those crazy stuff. Like, none of that was going on, but, they have to at least rule it out. So we were questioned on that, and it was funny because they asked like 3 hobbies my mom would like to do or how she spends her time, and Emily and I gave literally the exact 3 same answers. We said she loves to go shopping for a deal and getting sales. She loves to talk on the phone with my aunt, and she loves to read books. And they were like, wow, you said exactly what Emily did. And I was like, yeah, well, sorry, I have notes written down for, trying to like snag my memory. So at one point they suggested us, like them calling hotels for us to go stay in, and suggested us to go like check in and get a room for the night. And at that point, not that it wasn't real before, but at that point it was like, wow, like, we're in this for the long haul. We're going to check into a hotel and we're going to stay down here, and it's real now. Like, you're not going home today. You might not be going home tomorrow. Like, you're getting a hotel room, you're checking in without like an exact date that you're going to check out. And at that point, you're kind of like, wow, you know, I hope this is over tomorrow, but like, what if it's not? How long will I have to stay here? At what point do you say, you know, I'm going home, I'm checking out, and I'm, you know, on my way back? So that's kind of like a little dose of, an extra dose of reality. Not like this whole thing wasn't a dose of reality, but like an extra dose of, you're like, wow, I'm here, we're gonna do this. You know, I have no other choice but to do this. I don't remember what time it was, but a little while later we had extra family start showing up. The family, like my mom's side of the family who I had called before, had made it down there. It was like a 5 or 6 hour drive to where we were. And then a few of my cousins on my dad's side started showing up. And so it got better having people there. You had people to talk to. My family, my mom's side of the family is not, like, we're not super serious about everything. We like to have fun, so, like, you know, we're joking and laughing, and I mean, that's how my mom would have wanted it. She wouldn't want us sitting there, like, miserable and freaked out and worried the whole time. Like, she would have wanted us to sit there and, like, you know, joke around and have fun, and so we were doing that, and that made it better. And I think by this point, I had met Joe, who ended up being, like, the lead searcher coordinator for the whole thing. And he even told us, like, when he, like, met with the whole group of people that night, he's like, I like seeing everyone here. You can tell it really changes your mood, and you guys are being more positive, and I really like to see that. And so I think it's really good that they all came down. It was very helpful having them there for support, so I like that. That first night, we stayed in a hotel, and, you know, the first night, like, it's horrible that we're down there, but, like, you know, a bunch of my cousins were there. You don't see all these people all the time, and so it was fun to, like, you know, get ice cream with them and get dinner with them. And, you know, the hotel was awesome. We stayed at the Super 8 down in Cherokee, and they were literally awesome for us. They gave us, like, they saved the whole bottom floor for anyone in the search party to come and stay down there and be on the same floor as us, so we could, like, sit out in the hallway and, like, talk at night. They gave us a really awesome deal for being there because we didn't know when we would be, you know, how long we would be there, so that was really nice of them also. But the first night, like, after not sleeping the night before, the first night, I slept really well because I had everyone there and I felt, like, better. So the next day comes, September 27th, I believe it was a Thursday. It was my sister's birthday. She turned 20. Kind of bad that it happened in the middle of it, but, you know, again, it is what it is. At this point, my aunt from Florida drove up and was there with us also, and she brought her dog, and he got to hang out with us. And then she did go to the store and get my sister some vegan cupcakes or muffins or something for her birthday because she is vegan. And she was like, I know in the mess of all of this, like, I still want to celebrate the fact that, like, it's your birthday and, like, that should be a good thing. So that was super nice of her. It was, you know, kind of a little sunshine in our little storm we were having. This is also the day that we met with, I guess she was like a private investigator. She didn't do anything with searching or looking at the trails or anything, but she did more along the lines of how my mom would think and investigating, just like her as a person and stuff. So she did a lot of one-on-one interviews with Emily and my aunts and my dad. And then on my sister's birthday, she was like, we really need to nail down a point last seen, which I think the technical terminology for it is a PPI. Not positive, but that's what I think. It's basically my sister and mom were separated on the trail. My mom was like, yeah, you can go ahead. My sister wanted to walk up to Klingman's Dome, and my mom was like, okay, well, you're walking faster than me anyway. By the time you walk up and back, I'll be at the parking lot. We can just meet at the car. Which, you know, they had been doing that every day that they had been traveling. They were on vacation, touring national parks, and that's how they would hike. I mean, you know, with something like that, a 3-mile trail, you don't think anything's going to happen. You think no big deal. Not my sister's fault for leaving, not my mom's fault for telling her to go ahead. Like, no one is at fault here. But that is what happened. So Emily went over and kept telling, like, describing the area or whatever, saying this is where I think, you know, we split off, but to run the search more thoroughly, you need to have a more exact point so they can start at that point and, like, ripple out and conduct the search that way. And so the next day we walked the trail with the investigator, me, my brother, and my sister, We walked all the way down, and then as we were coming back, Emily was like, okay, here's where I think, we split off. Walking the trail, that was more difficult than I thought it would be. We got down into the woods. The weather up to this point, all rain, all fog, getting really chilly. I didn't like it. I did not like hiking the trail. I mean, I liked to see the area and like the hiking landscape, completely different from Ohio and what I'm used to, and I'd never been to the park before. And so it was good to like put it in my mind of like what type of terrain we were dealing with here. But just the area, like it was very dark and gruesome, and like you're walking the trail and you're like, okay, well, you're looking around and you're like, my mom's out in the woods somewhere, and I could be so close to her, but I don't know. And she could have wandered off trail, and she could be laying down somewhere, like a bear could be getting to her right now, and all these thoughts, just everything's running through your mind, and it's so foggy and it's crazy. And so it's difficult walking the trail like that. At one point we came like around like a bend, and there was a blue tarp spread over something, and the investigator stopped and looked at Emily and was like, was that here when you were hiking yesterday? And Emily was like, no. Or I guess it would have been 2 days ago. And Emily was like, no, that wasn't there. And so she's like, I'm a park ranger, I'm going to remove the tarp. Like, she's talking to the tarp, and I'm like, literally the thoughts, everything in my mind is like, if my mom is literally laying under this tarp and it's her body, like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm not ready for this, I'm not ready for this. She rips the tarp up, and it's literally just a bunch of gear that the searchers have placed there. And I was like, oh my gosh. And at that point I was like, oh gosh, this is about to be a journey. While we were hiking on the trail, we did get to meet some searchers, and they were so nice. They were literally wonderful. You could totally tell that their hearts were 100% in it. They were like, we're gonna find your mom, like, we want to be out here, we want to do this. Like, it was awesome. They were incredible. But I do want to say, as we were walking the trail, it's tough terrain. On the way back, you go all uphill, and you're on these like steps, and you're dealing with logs and the little water runoffs because it's raining so much, and you're looking down and you're controlling your footing. And I want to say that looking down, if the investigator didn't stop and pull off to the side and say, this is where we're turning, I would have kept going straight on the path. And I want to say that because that's what we think my mom did. I think she missed the turnoff and missed the parking lot, and I think she just got lost. I will go more into that later, but I want to say, completely in my thought, I'm thinking, how can you get lost on this trail? How can you miss a turn? And I'm literally walking right past a turn, about to miss it myself. So it was even darker and even foggier when she was out there, and it's obviously completely possible. I would have done it if she didn't stop and say, hey, we're going this way. So just throwing that out there. I also want to say, going up to the trail, this was my first time seeing my mom's car in the parking lot. I have some pictures. She just bought a car literally 3 weeks before. Her plates hadn't even expired yet, hadn't even made her first real payment on it. But I saw it. I'd been in it 2 or 3 times with her the night she got it. It had 14 miles on it when she drove it off the lot, and I got to drive it that night. So not super sentimental, but I liked the car. I had very good memories of it. The other time I was in it, we went and got ice cream together. But anyway, we saw the car in the parking lot, and that was also a hard moment because you see it sitting there and you're like, wow, this used to be sitting in my driveway, and 3 weeks ago it was sitting in the car lot, and why should it be sitting here? And then you can see all their stuff in it, and that they were road tripping, and she had a freaking gallon of water with the cap put off. And I remember when I was home the week before, she left a gallon of water with the freaking cap pulled off of it and didn't put it back on it, and I was literally standing there over my kitchen table looking at it, and I was like, why wouldn't she put the cap on? It's one of those, you just push it down and then it's on. Why wouldn't you just do that? And I look in the car window and there's one with the cap off, and I was like, of course you would, Mama, of course you would. But what I'm getting to is that you go around to the driver's side window, and I'll have a picture here, and it says, call 911, we are looking for you, duct tape to the window. And that's wow, she's really missing right now. But yeah, so that's all for today's video. It's probably long, but that got through all of Wednesday and Thursday, and so the next video will start on Friday. remember to subscribe to my channel to get these videos in your feed, and click the little bell button thing down below so you know when I upload the next video. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me through this, because everyone has been absolutely incredible and I really appreciate it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.